It took a car accident in 2015 for me to find that I had stage 4 thyroid cancer, and during that MRI, I found that I had an egg-sized tumor growing into my esophagus. Now here's the kicker. If I would have known this one thing, I probably could have caught this cancer much sooner. So what is that? If you go to the doctor for regular visits and your doctor is feeling your neck right here, and he says, or she says, "Oh, do you have a cold?" And if you say no, and he might be like, "Well, did you recover from one?" And you say no. And if he says or she says, "Oh, you're probably going to get a cold," and you don't get a cold, you haven't had a cold, not currently or just recently. Write that down. Keep track of that, because if that happens again the next month and the next month after that, you should get checked for your thyroid. So even if you think you might have thyroid problems, it takes a good doctor. Here's why. So I had a male doctor for most of my life because that's what I grew up with. And so when this male doctor would be like, "Oh yeah, you're probably getting a cold since you don't have one," I didn't think anything of it because, he's a doctor. I'm not. There was an inkling that I might have thyroid cancer. So it wasn't until I went to a dental school to have a teeth cleaning, and the female dentist student felt my neck and she's like, "I think you have thyroid cancer. You should talk to your doctor." What did I do? Booked an appointment, asked my doctor, and he's like, "Nope, you're fine." So here's the thing, ladies. Male doctors often don't believe women. So if you are getting told that you might have a cold every time you go, and your doctor is refusing to believe you could have something wrong with your thyroid, try to get a female doctor. Ask for an MRI if your insurance will allow it. Sometimes you need a referral. Ask your doctor. Get a female doctor, in my opinion, or a doctor who will listen to you and will take you seriously, because it is not fun having to have the radiation treatment after you get your thyroid removed. So there was a few other symptoms I had, but I didn't really think much at the time. So I should probably tell you first because you're probably curious. So my thyroid cancer, I found out when I was in my 30s, but again, it was probably growing in my 20s. Now, there's a few things I could possibly blame it on. For one, if you have children, children do affect your body because of the hormones during pregnancy and everything else. There's been cases where women have gotten MS after pregnancy. So that's a possibility. Or it could be the fire play I did. Because when you do fire play, because I would also do fire eating, the chemicals, the white gas, even says it can cause cancer. So that's another possibility. But here's the symptoms. If you are having trouble swallowing, my thing was I would have trouble swallowing waffles and pancakes. I would be losing weight, so I was down to about 93. But I was also exercising too, so I didn't realize it at the time. But keep in mind, not everybody is going to experience the same symptoms. So here's the funny part. I had a lot of energy, which is funny because when they biopsied the thyroid after they removed it, I actually had Hashimoto's, I'm butchering that horribly, disease. So what happens is your thyroid is slowly dying, but somehow I was always like the Energizer Bunny. So one tip when you do go in for surgery to have the thyroid removed is afterwards, try not to talk very much. Unfortunately for me, my mom was going through leukemia at that time, and she was stuck in a place she didn't want to be. And so I had to be on the phone trying to calm her down and get her to talk to her doctors because she didn't want to really do the chemo where she was at. Because of all the talking I had to do, I actually pretty much lost my voice, and it took 6 months to get it back. And I know there was talk about speech therapy, which my speech kind of sucks already. So I'm sure it would have benefited me greatly. Just keep that in mind after surgery. Just take it easy. I did not. I went back to work the next week because when you're broke, you need to keep working, unfortunately. Well, not everybody, but I did. I felt like I had to. And you'll be tired. So, yes, once you lose your thyroid, if you don't take medication, you will be very tired because your body needs that thyroid or the medicine equivalent. But at least the first month, you're gonna be really tired, and it's because your body is healing from surgery. And the more you can relax, the faster you'll heal. So yes, you will get that fancy new scar. That scar, yeah, it'll be hard. You'll have to kind of massage it. The doctor or the surgeon will tell you when you can start doing that. And that will help. It'll get it soft and it'll heal quicker. So I think I had my thyroid surgery 7 or 8 years ago. So here's what this looks like. You could barely see it now. And I'm sure if I actually followed the advice and used sunscreen and covered it when I went out, it would probably be even more gone. So there you go. If you are carefree, you don't really care, and you think scars are cool, because they are, stretch marks, everything your body naturally produces and leaves a scar, you're hot. That's hot. So I don't mind. For some folks, they do, and which is fine. If you don't want to have a scar, it's totally cool, totally understandable. So yeah, just follow the doctor's advice about wearing sunscreen, covering up in the sun. But yeah, it does go away. I know it doesn't seem like it because it's big and red, but it will. It will shrink and it'll get smaller and nearly invisible. Because you do not have a thyroid anymore, you will gain weight. And someone warned me about that, and I was happy to know that. It's because your thyroid does a lot for you. So just be aware of that. And you know what? If you gain some weight, who cares? You look amazing no matter what. So don't ever beat yourself up over that, because that's something you cannot control by not having a thyroid. Let your body do its thing. It knows what it's doing, and you are going to look fantastic regardless. You're going to feel like shit, but look at it this way. It's better to be able to enjoy life and all it has to offer than to worry about something as frivolous as appearance. Kind of funny because I'm putting on makeup. But you know what I mean. I wouldn't care because you know what? I'm still here to annoy people.